In Central and all the way down to Florida know what that is because it raised $250,000 for cancer research. And not only is my brother-in-law, but most of the people at ND Country Fest know him as Cowboy Joe. We got Joe Berger on as our headliner today at ND Country Fest. How's it going, Joe?
It is so great to be talking to you, Luke. Chase that flavor. Bruno's pizza.
You like that Bruno's, huh, Joe?
I love it. Yeah, every time I call, I get to listen to your voice. I hope I didn't spill the beans there, but
so I'm starting to wonder if you played high school sports in North Dakota, if you just weren't a champion or won some sort of record, because everybody that seems to come on here who played high school sports in North Dakota was somebody or something. They all were.
What's the question?
Champions. So
he was.
I know. So is everybody a champion that's in high school sports in North Dakota because there's just not enough people?
Nope, it's called Our Family, right, Joe?
It's
yeah,
it's a bunch of athletes.
That's right. That is right.
You should have saw the pickup games. So we got Joe Berger here, known as Cowboy Joe. Joe, you are the Cowboy Joe hype man of ND Country Fest 2017 and current. Remember that time when we were starting the festival and it was about the week of, and I was like, man, I need an MC, Joe. What do you think about doing Cowboy Joe on as the MC of ND Country Fest 2017? And then I want you to talk about how you first came up with Cowboy Joe, because that's literally what I thought.
I'll tell you what. Yeah, that was the easiest yes answer I've ever had to give. So Cowboy Joe came to be one day when I was on a run. I was training for track in the summertime, and I'd go on runs every day, and I was like, I'd always come up with all these ideas for videos and concept, anything. I mean, and I was running along, and I was like, I got all this cowboy gear at home. I should dress up like a cowboy, and I can also play guitar. So I'll like play something on guitar and like just kind of put on a mantra and put on a character, and we'll see if my followers like it. And I still don't have a lot of followers, but at the time, like I had not even a third of what I have now. And people just loved it. And clearly you did too, Luke. And I did like a couple more little bits, and it was nothing like overly funny. It was just like kind of a nice little funny thing to, I guess, watch. And I had a lot of fun doing it. And then you approached me, actually, even not for the MC stuff, but before, I think it was like August of 2016, you're like, hey, I'm going to go shoot some of these promo videos. Cowboy Joe should come out, and you should like be a part of the festival.
That's right. You're right. We did shoot those, but I didn't. I asked you like maybe the week of to be the MC.
The week of, yeah.
So there seems to be a trend here going on with your friends and family. Is, hey, right up at the last minute, who am I going to rely on to get me through? I need a back house guy. I'm going to ask my big bro. 15 minutes into the show, you realize you need a front of house. You're going to promote Ralphie, I guess. And then your brother-in-law, you're coming in a week before and being like, hey, you ever been a hype man before? Will you, what do you think about doing this?
Well, we did have a cancellation on that.
So you did.
A whole other story.
You didn't put it
I don't want to mention that.
You don't want to mention it?
No. They know who they are. So,
so Joe, you came in. Had you ever done any hype man stuff before?
No. I've been in front of crowds. I've been in front of a microphone. I've always been like, I guess, pretty out there and outgoing, and I guess I have some stage presence as well. And so it wasn't like a daunting, like, oh, I'm so nervous about this. It was more like, oh, I can't wait to do that. Like, this is going to be the best time ever. So it was, like I said, it was just an easy yes answer, and I didn't really have any nerves at all going into it. And, Luke really helped with that because he helped write content even for like the first year, and he still does. And
he's got his hands everywhere.
Nice collaborative.
Now that you mentioned it, Joe, I totally forgot that we did those cuts right out under Salem Suit the Big Cow with you doing those. Those are great cuts. I got to find those.
You should put them up.
It was awesome. The MC, what I remember when we were doing that, we were practicing in the garage night in, night out, like
really
midnight,
getting ready.
Midnight until 2 a.m. And it was awesome. What's a good story that you have or memory you have from being the MC the first night, the first ND Country Fest, which was only one night, but
I'd say it was an amazing time being able to get to know all the artists that year. And I still have my shirt that I wore, but like, I really got to know Michael Ray and Kanan Smith, and I hung out with them like all day and all night, and even kept that relationship going past the festival, which was really cool. Like I had gone to Nashville later that summer on a different note with my band, and I ran into Michael Ray in downtown Nashville, and like he was like, Joe, and I was like, Michael Ray.
Nice.
And we ended up, he invited me and my bandmates over to his house just to kick it later that night.
No way.
and you guys hung out all night, right?
Yeah, we hung out all night, and we FaceTimed Kanan Smith while we were there, so that was really cool. And it was really nice to see the community come together and like enjoy, the music, the food, the beer, and it really gave us a reason to come back the next year as a 3-day and night festival. So it was, I feel like Luke, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the community really had a lot to do with the festival coming back bigger and better the next year and
a ton
continuing. Yeah,
a ton. So, it was from the not only us being there the first year and then the second year at the Trust, and then it's such a great event and it's clean and everybody is extremely excited about it, not only in the area community but then the whole rest of the state and the region. Well, what's really cool though is about the country music scene and country music performers and artists, that they're very welcoming, like just what Joe said.
Tight-knit community.
Yeah, totally. Didn't know him really from anything. Knew him as Cowboy Joe.
Met him in North Dakota, and now he's taking him back to the house. See
him in the street, and it's like, yeah. Then
that's awesome.
Yeah, it very well is awesome. The Joe, tell us about the Sweet Home North Dakota song that you perform every year.
Well, the guitar was very much a part of Cowboy Joe from the start. I mean, that's kind of how it originated. And
hey, can you do it real quick? Can you do the intro to Cowboy Joe on the very intro video you did?
It's Cowboy Joe here. I just learned this song about a minute ago. That's exactly it.
We got Cowboy Joe here.
So, Sweet Home North Dakota, what's the song about?
So Sweet Home North Dakota, the guitar was a big part of the act. And I was like, well, I got to bring this on stage and do some stuff. And I've gotten a lot, like, I guess, more serious about singing, but at the time it was still more of a playful, fun thing for me to do. And I was like, man, Sweet Home Alabama is great. Everybody knows this song, but like, I kind of want to just change like a word or a couple words that is going to make it more personable for the festival and like that people can really get behind and like sing along to. And then I was just like, oh, Sweet Home North Dakota. Like, why not? I mean, it fits perfectly. Alabama, North Dakota, same number of syllables, same accents, accentuations and stuff. So nice. I went up and it was a hit, and I do it every single year. And
people look forward to it every single year. They're always like, when I'm out and about, they're like, hey, when is he going to go on and sing Sweet Home North Dakota? Because I want to see that. I want to scream it.
Loud.
Oh, it does. The whole bowl just goes crazy.
So, Joe, you have a unique perspective because not only you were the MC, but you also played in a band the first year?
Yeah. My band played the first year, and it was really, I think we actually opened it up.
So what was that like?
Mistaken. It was a great time. I mean, just to be a part of that first year and just to be a part of history, and we had a blast up there and got some free beer out of the deal, and you know.
That's all that matters. Free beer, right?
It was a great time, and you know, my bandmates seriously like loved it, and they'll probably remember that day forever. And yeah, that definitely was one of the highlights, is not only being able to MC it, but also to be able to perform with my band. So,
Joe, let's just jump into your current band, right? You guys signed a deal with Sony. You guys were everywhere.
Yes.
And the current band is Reigns, right? Tell us what type of music you guys are into, and what's going on. What I want to know is everybody wants to know what type of music it is. And then what were you doing before the pandemic?
And how do you spell it?
Okay, so Reigns, spelled Raynes. Raynes.
And it's on Spotify. I can go find it pretty easy. iTunes.
Oh yeah, we're on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, anything where you can stream music. Reigns is on.
Nice.
So yeah, we got 3 songs out right now, and if you listen to it, you'll find that we're very much so a pop band with like folk instrumentation and folk instrumentation, pop music with I guess there's a lot of different elements in it, but at its core it's pop music.
Who do you sound like?
Sonically it's so hard. I mean, it just depends on which song, and I mean, I'd say sonically we're similar to like a Mumford & Sons Coldplay mixed with like Imagine Dragons, maybe. That's sonically. I'm not saying like we're as good as that or anything, but sonically.
So we were listening to you on the way over, and I'm like, oh, this sounds like Coldplay. My wife would love this music.
Oh, cool. Which song? I don't mean to call you off, but
what song was it, Jared?
I don't know. You picked it. Was it Lemon Drop?
Was it? It was
Second
Lemon Drop.
Yep.
Lemon Drop?
Yep. See, I remembered. I paid attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell us who makes up the band, because it's kind of a unique dynamic there, Joe. So tell us a little bit about your bandmates and what you guys have gone through, and all the way up to the pandemic, and then we'll want to hear a little bit during, because you guys kind of were overseas at that time. But go ahead and tell our listeners about that.
How many questions were there?
Matt, Charlie, Mark Race, and myself, we comprise Reigns. Matt and I met in college, I say in 2013, I think maybe it was, like December 2013. Met him at the University of Mary, and I guess I just went up to him one day. I saw him, and he was like, man, this guy looks really cool. I want to talk to him. And then that happened. I think I went up and did like a Matthew McConaughey impersonation to him, which must have been just kind of a little... I don't know what you think about it, and then we kept our friendship up over the years, and then flash forward 3 years to my senior year, and we started playing some music, and Matt had been writing all these songs since he's been like 13. That's all he's ever really done. And Luke even knows, back when Matt had stayed with me a couple of years ago, like he just stays holed up in his studio and writes and produces stuff, and
guy's a genius.
That's all he's ever wanted to do.
Guy's a genius. So, and then how did you hook up with your other bandmate?
Yeah, so we wanted to find someone who could have an amazing, like, to just top off the band with just amazing vocals, some great charisma, great stage presence, and hopefully good looks. And we found a guy that had every single one of them. On Instagram, we came across a video of him singing a song, and Matt and I were both just blown away, and we ended up reaching out to him and bonded. Matt was like, hey, do you want to come be in a band in LA? And we have this on the table, and this, and he was like, yeah, I'd quite like that. And within 10 days, he was on a plane.
So he's from
LA,
the UK, right?
A couple of his buddies. Yeah, he's from the UK. He was born and raised in Durham, Durham, England, which is the northeast, sort of near Newcastle, where the Newcastle Brown Ale is made.
So Instagram's apparently where it's at for connecting with artists.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's crazy what it's turning into these days. You can create so many relationships and create so many opportunities just with those social media platforms like Instagram.
Hey, and Joe,
TikTok and whatever have you.
You guys were in Hollywood. You were all over the country writing songs. You were in New York for a while. You're doing all that. You guys were just rocking it out. You know, you do Lemon Drop. You drop Come My Way. You drop Second Thought, which that's my favorite song of your guys' and Rain's. You guys sound amazing. Then you're over in the UK, right? You're about to hit like a 10 gig run. And tell us what happens.
Had so many gigs lined up. We were in the UK for a couple months.
When was this?
And this was in January, February, March time.
Okay.
Of 2020. So, and like Luke had said, we had spent most of 2019 in LA, taking trips to Nashville, New York, just wherever. Been to the UK like 3-4 times. And we were in the UK, and COVID wasn't really much of a thing right away, but it just kept picking up. And we had all these gigs lined up, and we were speaking to some booking agents, and we did actually play a gig in Newcastle.
Sold out, right? Baby was sold out.
Sold out.
Nice.
Friday the 13th.
Really?
Yeah.
So like think of that, people. March 13th.
Lockdown Eve.
Yeah. Yeah, Friday the 13th, supposed to be an unlucky day. Here, we're selling out a crowd in Newcastle, England.
Hey, how awesome was that?
And and then we're after the day after we took off for London. So went down south to London, and then COVID just took a super large curveball, and they started canceling flights, and they were doing all these travel bans, and it's, we had all these gigs lined up, and it was going to be great. We were going to, hopefully sign with a booking agent and all that fun stuff. But
so did you have to make a decision to stay or get out? Like, how did that come about?
We had spoken as a band internally and with our team, and we just thought it was best for Matt and I to go back to the States. We didn't know what was going to happen, and the deal was they ended up finally doing a travel ban from UK to USA and vice versa.
Right.
The issue wasn't us getting back to the States, because we're citizens. You can get back whenever. That was the terms of the travel ban. The big issue was they were canceling flights left and right. Mm-hmm. So like they were coming near and far in between. And we just decided we better get going. And I think I spent, like, honestly, you guys, 20 hours on the phone with airlines.
What was it like flying back?
Our flights. It was insane. It took 3 hours to get off the plane. Airport. Actually, the airport wasn't. We missed. I remember on social media there was all those crazy photos of like people, shoulder to shoulder, neck to neck.
Right.
We missed that by I think it was literally 12 hours. So I guess that's a silver lining. But it took 3 hours to get off the plane, but it was so lackadaisical because my flight from Minneapolis to Bismarck, there wasn't many people on them, and mine was supposed to be at 11 p.m. But there was one at 9, and it was 8, and I was like, "Hey guys, can I just get on this flight?" And they were like, "Yeah, we'll change it real quick."
Yeah, it's Joe Berger from Rains, man. Cowboy Joe, get him on.
We've heard of you.
I don't mean to name drop here. So that was kind of funny.
So ever since then, you guys get back to the States. Mark stays over there, and now you guys have been doing, the live writing and then live streaming and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, we've done live streams. We write I mean, constantly, and we have that deal with Sony, so we do a lot of songwriting, and Matt's always doing stuff, or I'll have an idea and send it to the guys, or Mark will have an idea and send it to us, and then we'll just kind of go from there, and then Matt will finally put lyrics to it. Matt writes the lyrics, and then Mark will get his voice on it. And then Mark and I will do, or Matt and I will do our harmonies and put our instruments on it, and we just got all these demos that we've been cooking up since COVID, the quarantine, and we did release a song.
Nice.
Released Come My Way.
How'd that go?
It's been going good. So we got 3 songs out right now. You guys listen to Lemon Drop,
Right.
as you said, and then Second Thought and Come My Way and Lemon Drop. So we released Come My Way during COVID quarantine.
So what's your opinion of live streaming a concert or doing something like that? Luke and I kind of have a little bit of different views. So I'm wondering, from an artist perspective, do you feel like you're getting in touch with your fans? Do you feel like you've got to do that to stay relevant? Or
absolutely, yeah.
Would you rather be in front of people?
I think even not even like, sometimes we'll just do like live streams of us just talking. Like, you know how you can do the 2, like on Instagram, you can do dual live streams. You can bring someone in, like Mark and I'll do it, or Matt and Mark, or Matt and I, or whoever. And that honestly gets like loads of engagement, and people love that. So basically anything you can do to just keep in front of people's eyes. And I think that helps a lot. It's a lot better than not doing anything at all. So
it's something.
So people like familiarity, and people like relatability. So if you can just kind of break down that wall, and it can have some good rewards.
Joe, what can the Reigns fans expect for 2021, or what are you hoping to give them?
That's a deep question.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think we'll be going back to England at some point, and definitely going to release new music. So stay tuned for that. Obviously, we don't have any specifics yet, but definitely going to release new music, and hopefully once things die down, we can start gigging again and
get out there in front of everybody,
people, and playing those live gigs,
selling out crowds.
Yeah, selling out crowds on Friday the 13th. All fun stuff like that. Lots of fun stuff to look forward to in the future. It's going to be great to get back out there again. And honestly, it's going to be great to be with the band, all 3 of us together. It hasn't been that way since March. So it's been a long time.
That's crazy.
Joe, if listeners want to find info about Reigns or even Cowboy Joe, how could they find you guys?
You can follow Reigns at RAYNES, Reigns Music, RAYNES Music. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I got a little Cowboy Joe came out in me.
I heard that.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Check us out. Listen to our songs on all the DSPs. We're on everything. Listen to the Fest podcast.
Nice.
You can follow me if you want, but
do all of the above.
Joe. Yeah, all the above. I will add one thing about Cowboy Joe, that I've been doing I've worked with cattle like my whole life. So sometimes people think I'm a fluke, and I got to tell them, hey,
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, not really. But I mean, I just got kicked by a massive steer just this last Sunday. So I know a thing or two. That's a true story.
Joe, what is your favorite thing you've been doing since the last 4 months?
In the last 4 months, I think my favorite thing I've been doing is, truthfully, this podcast.
Okay, we all know that's a lie.
But I love it.
I think it's been great to just get more in tune with songwriting, and even if it's doing just covers. So being locked up and holed up and not doing many things out and about, I've spent a lot of time kind of refining the songwriting craft and getting really into crafting melodies and even lyrics and coming up with, new